Hey everyone, today we're jumping in the custom pack, and before we do, I need to tell a story. This is the story of the InfiniteDraw meta. I'm in custom packs, like I said. We're trying to run Hedgehog, Kraken, Badger teams, as you see in these replays right here. The whole name of the game is to get these Kraken Hedgehog teams set up, eventually get some Lioness shop scaling, as you see, and eventually pivot in some big units. And what I was mainly going for was the new small one, 5 of a kind. Now I'm going to scroll up just to kind of show you some of these teams so you get an idea for how these games work out. The whole name of the game is to get low wins, save those hearts, get as many draws as you can, go to the late rounds. But the problem I run into is a mixture of snipes and summons that kind of hurts the team, right? And I avoid putting mushrooms as long as possible on the team until the very end, because once you start putting mushrooms, you tend to get wins. So you see all these games are pretty brutal games, but it leads to something that's absolutely glorious. Let's jump right into it. Alright, so like I said, we're in the custom pack. Feel free to pause, take a look around. I'm not going to point out too much in this custom pack because like I said, it's meant for like a small one, 5 of a kind, just shop scale. There's stuff like Stego, Lionfish, Warthog, just to kind of help us in the meantime. Once the shop's scaled at a certain point, if we're afraid of losing, we can, put a Warthog up front, put a Lionfish in. Yeah, what you can do is just, if you're afraid of losing that last heart, throw a Warthog in the front, throw a Lionfish somewhere, throw a Behemoth in, and hopefully that can carry you while you build the rest of the team, right? So with all that being said, I'm going to speed up the turns here because this run is going to go, I think, past turn 20 or so. This is the first win I got in jumping back into my InfiniteDraw pack. I built this pack from scratch again just because there's been so many changes. So I did not edit this from my original InfiniteDraw pack. When I was running this in the past, I was going for great 5 of a kinds with mushrooms, and I could never get it done. By the time I get to the late rounds, it just never worked out. There was one game in the past where I got to the ghost teams on like round 28 plus, 30 plus. You get to the ghost teams and you can easily get wins, but I didn't want to get my 5 of a kind going against ghost teams. I just wanted to get in the InfiniteDraw loop and then get to that point where you win right before you face those ghost teams. But you see some crazy stuff in later rounds, so I'm interested to see. I don't quite remember what we run into this run. But yeah, I don't know if I started my apology yet, but I'm going to get back into it. This is an open apology to the SAB community. I run these builds, I have a plan in place, but sometimes the plan gets a curveball thrown at it, and you have a decision to go multiple ways, but I decide it must be done. We must become the thing that we hate the most. And yeah, immediately after doing this run, I stopped running my InfiniteDraw pack and I had to reflect on my life a little bit. So with all that set up, I'm not sure if I gave anything away in the thumbnail or title. And I'm going to just assume that I don't give away too much. So let's hop into the run here. The microbe is pretty crucial. In the past, I ran like flea mushroom. The microbe is just great because it takes all the mushrooms, all the honeys, all the popcorns out, right? All the melons. It just gets rid of all the equipment and basically ensures that our badger and our hedgehog can do work. The only problem is teams that have summons, right? So we lose our first heart there. Immediately take the level 3 hedgehog because the Siberian Husky showed up. Before we get Lioness scaling, it's good to get a little bit of scaling on the team, especially if you're running stuff like a badger. And yeah, brought in the chicken for now, just until we get to the Lioness. Sometimes if I could level the chicken fast enough like this, I would look to possibly keep the chicken on the team. But it's kind of tough. Usually you only have one flexible spot. I guess on this team technically we have 2 flexible spots, but the team is not strong enough to justify keeping 2 scalers on the team at this point. So take the level up, and the tiger shows up. So we go tiger chicken, which is a great combo. So maybe we can scale fast enough that we can make up for. The Chupacabra hippocampus is so ridiculous, and we almost draw him. So finally working towards a badger level. Figure 3 hearts remaining, you gotta just take the mushroom chicken, right? We just gotta go for the shop scaling now. The teams are scary, we get sniped. But it's kind of a perfect game, or a perfect matchup. The only problem right now is we're winning, right? So I figure if we're winning, we're probably not going to stop winning or losing, right? The draws are probably out the window at this point. I know the infinite draw is out the door. So we're in a race against the clock at this point. There's certain things you can recognize if you play this enough that you just know when you have to flip the switch. And you see the really strong team there. We're facing real teams, strong teams that are still trying to, you know, go and win the game. They're not trying to do any shenanigans like I'm doing right now. So that being said, I'm just taking stats, right? I'm just stacking pets. I swapped out the microbe for the Kraken because I figured we have enough stats. Maybe it's a good swap. I really don't know. I was more just trying to experiment with Kraken. Kraken was necessary for the infinite draws in the past that I ran. So I was just trying to experiment. Do I really need the Kraken? Do I not need the Kraken? I wasn't quite sure. And we're getting so much shop scaling every round that I figured, okay, we're at 1 heart. Like I said in the beginning, let's bring a strong unit in, bring the lionfish in. I could have leveled the badger, but instead I sell the 1.5 badger, bring in a microbe, and then I sell the lioness to bring in a level 1 hedgehog after we sold our level 3 hedgehog. And the main reason being, they just have more stats, right? So I figured the lionfish microbe should be good enough here. And it is. Unfortunately, the chicken doesn't faint. So that kind of scared me. I was like, oh boy, what can we do here? Well, let's just go tiger, lionfish. So ridiculous. And yeah, we got the double tiger going, which is awesome. When you have tiger chicken going, it's an easy pivot because you leave the tiger and you just throw something else in front of the tiger. So it's kind of the ideal setup for a shop scaling pivot. Although our level 3 tiger is not 50-50, it's not the end of the world. Level 3 tiger is so strong. So there's more lionfish. Level 2 lionfish. Decide, okay, let's just take the lioness. The shop is pretty much 50-50. So I figured I don't need level 3 chicken. You know, the shop is good after this battle. I'm not trying to go 100 behemoths. I'm only trying to get the shop to 50-50 and then make my move. And I'm not sure if we've seen any small ones the last couple turns. I should have been freezing them if I had seen them. But only being at 1 heart, this is the point in the game where it's just tough, right? The shop's 50-50. I'm going to try to roll for small ones and bring small ones in. That's the goal. And if I can bring enough small ones in, I should be able to win. The question is, am I going to win the last couple rounds? Especially if I can get some small 1 mushrooms going. There was one team where I had 2 small 1 mushrooms. So I saved the mushroom. And we're just rolling. 2 lionfish show up. Uh-oh. Do you guys see why I'm apologizing now? Do you see? Do you see what I've done? And a tiger shows up, and I figure, you know what? Let's just go all in for now. And there's still time to find the small ones. So I'm not set on this. I just figure, hey, this is a really strong setup. There should be no way I lose, right? I mean, this has to just completely dominate the other team. That was our level 1 lionfish with tiger. We have a level 2 lionfish with a level 3 tiger coming up. And they get 50-50. And look, 50-50 Anubis. Not even close. It's just so ridiculous. Level 2, 50-50 tiger. Working our way to another another lionfish. Get the chocolate. No small ones in the shop. pass up another tiger just because we can't stack any more stats on this level 3. I thought about selling the level 3 and putting the level 1 50/50 in. Probably would have been the right move. As you see, we get sniped, so we just totally lose out on that level 3 tiger. But as you see, it's just ridiculous. We get a draw, which I'm kind of okay with at this point. Now that I'm running this completely broken lionfish team, it's like, okay, let's take the draws. And another lionfish shows up, so I figured, okay, I can stack and get this one to 50/50. And this was the point with these two lionfish showed up that I recognized, okay, I'm just going 5 of a kind lionfish. It's nothing special, but when you're going, shout out to Pog Pickle Man. You are going for something there, sir. I am completely destroying your run. I really hope you don't match up against me. This is that. As soon as I matched up against that team, that's when I realized I need to apologize for this. It's just so ridiculous. And yeah, take the cornucopia, take the chocolate. Level 3 lionfish would be awesome. We've got the last one frozen. As the 2 small ones show up in the shop, I guess I could have frozen those 2 small ones and tried to do something. But Pog Pickle Man again. So as you get into these late rounds, there's not many teams. So I am so sorry. Maybe they're trying to win with 1 pet. And they're just hoping there's no teams like this in the pool. But yeah, this happened. And I don't know. I would like to say it's not going to happen again. But there's no guarantees. I mean, I'm going to be running this InfiniteDraw shop scaling build a bit. I'll probably switch some of the pets out now that I've gotten this crazy team. Maybe I'll go for some smaller 5-of-kinds. And yeah, back badger, so this guy's gotten a lot of draws. And it's not even close. I mean, it's not even close, so... I did have a lot of fun doing this, because as you see my replays that I showed in the beginning, I was smashing my face against the wall for a long time, just losing to Jersey Devils and behemoths and leopards and lionfish myself. And then this run showed up, and I was like, why not? Let's take our anger out, take our frustration out. But then I ran away quickly after this run, so if you hung around this long, let me know what you think in the comments. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe. Have a fantastic day. We'll catch you in the next one.